Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here. Today we're going to be doing a little reading vlog. I started a book I've been wanting to read for a long time, and based on the title of this video, you already know which book it is. It is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, but I have been wanting to read it and I have been waiting. I am like, why did I torture myself? I've been wanting to read this book. I'm so happy I finally picked it up. I started it yesterday, last night. I think I'd gotten like about 40-ish pages in, and I sat down to read today. I'm now at page 218. So this is what I've read and this is what I have left. So it looks like I'm roughly halfway, if not over halfway. So if you don't know Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, it is a young adult book. Very much has like fairy tale vibes. It's a romance, fantasy, whimsical situation. Brief synopsis, so we're all on the same page. The book's about Evangeline Fox. She was secretly seeing this man and finds out that he is going to get married to her stepsister, and she is heartbroken. And so she seeks out the Prince of Hearts to have him stop their wedding. And in exchange, he asks for 3 kisses, not to be confused with kisses for himself, because anybody that he kisses dies unless it's his one true love. He asks for 3 kisses for other people, which is very interesting. And yeah, I don't want to give too much away, so the story really goes from there. And like I said, I'm about halfway through. I'm obviously loving it. It has a 5-star type feeling for me, and I kind of feel like it will be a 5-star book in the end, depending on how the second half goes. However, I am very confused about the male main character, who is the Prince of Hearts, whose name is Jax. And from the tidbits that I've seen on YouTube and just Goodreads and around the internet, I definitely think Jax is the love interest. Like, I don't think this is a little switcheroo type situation where there's a third-party person who is actually going to be the love interest. I feel like he is it. However, he's quite diabolical, I will say. Like, he's not a good person. And I know that every villain has a backstory, every villain has another side to them, probably has redeeming qualities. And I imagine that we are going to see those, but it truly feels like this is a love story about a villain, and I'm just waiting to see that redeeming side to him. It definitely has not shown up yet. And so I'm very much rooting for Evangeline and Jax, but I'm not sure why. It feels like it's against my better judgment to do so. Like, logically, I'm like, this dude is awful, but I feel that like that romance novel feeling where I'm like, oh, I want them to be together. Like, the purely, like, I don't know what else to call it. It's like that instinct, that like pull where you're like, no, I'm rooting for them. But logically, I'm like, I don't know why, because he's not a good guy. And they definitely, like, the author is creating moments of like tension between them, and just his little nicknames for her and the way she stares at him. Like, the tension's there, and I know that's what I'm feeding off of, but I just really need him to become a better person. Like, I need that to happen. So we'll see. I'm guessing that won't happen by the end of this book. My prediction is that we'll see little snippets of his goodness hopefully come out later on, but I don't think we're going to see the full manifestation of that, given that there's 2 other books in the series. Like, they're not going to have their happily ever after in this book. It's going to come later. So with that being said, I'm excited to read the other two books, even though I haven't finished this one, but I just feel like I probably will go immediately into the second and third books if I continue to feel the way that I have, because I could not put this down earlier. Like, I'm waiting. It's almost making me want to read it more, to be like, where's the moment where we see his goodness? Because I know it's in there. And also there is a little bit of mystery around, like, first of all, why he wants her to kiss these people and why he chose these people specifically. And there's things that are coming out about Jack's desires. I'm curious to learn more about that too. That's obviously secondary to the romance, but I think it's all connected. So loving the book so far right now. I'm really, really pumped to continue reading it. I've read so much today. I'm not gonna continue today. I have a friend coming over, but I just needed to talk to you guys about this right away. It is Friday night, so I will pick up the book again tomorrow morning and catch up with you guys then. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts as I continue going, because I really feel like we're at a pretty pivotal moment right now. So I will connect with you guys tomorrow. Good morning, you guys. It is the next day. You guys saw last night I actually ended up having time to read some of my book, so I was super happy about that. I was just so into it. Even though I talked to you guys about the book, I did end up talking to my friend about it also, so I just can't get it out of my head. Let me grab it really quick. So last night I got to chapter 38, or page 268. So I'm making pretty good progress. I'm well over halfway now. And let me tell you, this book is so fast paced. A lot is happening. A lot is happening all the time. It's super fast paced. There's always a ton happening, which is why I can't stop thinking about it or put it down. Like, truly, I've been like, what? Several times throughout this book. Just really interesting things are happening. And I haven't like stopped long enough to try to like predict what might happen next. But even if I had, I don't think I would have seen these things coming. So it's super engaging in that way. I think that's a sign of a very good book. So like I kind of alluded to last night, the MMC and FMC have a really interesting dynamic and relationship. And if somebody told me that they really did not like this book, I could see why. Like, I could totally understand why. Their dynamic doesn't necessarily seem healthy. And if this relationship was taking place in real life, I would be deeply concerned. There are some things that are like a little bit honestly cringe. I'm like, what? Like, that's a little bit disturbing. There's like a situation with, I don't want to get anything remotely close to a spoiler, but just a little situation with like his blood, whereas like, I don't know, this is weirding me out how much focus there is on this. And if you've read it, you probably know what I'm alluding to. And if you haven't, it's really not that big of a spoiler. It's not a spoiler at all. But yeah, if somebody was like, I hate this, I could see. Like, I feel like it's kind of a little bit of a polarizing situation. It's either a love or a hate. And right now, like I said, I'm just eating it up. We're not quite to the point where I can root for them together, but I'm like rooting for him to show me some humanity, even though he's not human. But I want to see that side of him. I want to see some of his softness. And I feel like I saw just like a glimpse of it last night. So as we're nearing the end of the book, I think we're going to see more of it. But yeah, so let's just keep reading and see where we go from here. I'm excited to see what happens next. I finished the book last night and oh my gosh, it was such a roller coaster. I think that Stephanie Garber does a really good job of like sucking you into Evangeline's thought process and her stories and her hypotheses about what's happening and what's unfolding in front of her. And that's a really unique and cool experience. And definitely the ending did not satisfy me. Not saying it was bad, it was really good. The book I'm giving 5 stars 100%, but like I immediately need to go into the next book and know what happened. So today I'm gonna go to Target and pick up the next book, which the name is escaping me. I think I'm not even gonna try to come up with it off the top of my head, but yeah, I already checked, my Target has it, so I'm gonna go and pick that up so I can start the book today. But end of story, moral of the story, conclusion, Once Upon a Broken Heart, 5 stars. Really just quick, engaging, so many twists and turns, kept me wanting to know more, still is making me want to know more, so highly recommend the book. If you read it, let me know some of your thoughts down below. I'd love to be able to chat with you. No spoilers though, don't want to ruin it for anybody. And if you want to see a reading vlog of me reading the second book in the series, comment that down below as well. I'm so happy to be continuing with the series. I'm glad that I started it, and I'm glad to be sharing it with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe. I would love to have you as part of this community. All right, guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.